Alright, well, if you've been watching my videos, you probably saw a while back I went ahead and I put power steering fluid in the brake system. And I did that basically because I didn't have any brake fluid and I couldn't think of anything else to put in it. Everything I had, at least so I thought, would have ruined the oil or ruined the seals in the braking system anyway. So I just dumped some power steering fluid in because I needed something. And it's just a cheap little farm truck, so who cares, right? But that actually got me to thinking, what could I possibly use other than brake fluid, because I don't have any, to put into the brake system that wouldn't destroy all the little rubber seals and everything. And I think I figured out something that ought to work, but it's a little bizarre, so you're going to have to bear with me. Now I'm going to explain exactly why I chose what I chose after I siphon out all the oil and brake fluid that are in there. And to do that, I've got my little vacuum pump, and I used to have a regular jar made for this that basically looks something like that, but I couldn't seem to find it, so I made one out of an old mayonnaise jar. Unfortunately, I cracked it when I was making it, but it still sucks a little bit, so let's see if we can go ahead and get that thing drained, and then I'll show you what I'm going to put in it. Alright, well, I've got most of the fluid sucked out of there, probably as good as I'm going to be able to get it, and it's inside my little jar there. So, now what am I going to put in here? Well, this is what I'm going to put in here. Antifreeze coolant, ethylene glycol. Now, I didn't just magically come to that decision just on a whim. I went to the internet and I figured out what was in brake fluid, and basically it's a bunch of not ethylene glycols, but glycol products, diethylene glycol and triethylene glycol and yada yada yada, and a bunch of long ass names that well, I don't know what they mean. But turns out that ethylene glycol and diethylene glycol are similar in a lot of ways. If you've ever felt brake fluid and felt coolant, they feel kind of similar. And this stuff, basically it won't boil in the lines. It's not as good as brake fluid for that, but this truck ain't going, down the freeway anyway, so I don't think it matters. And it won't freeze because it's antifreeze. Use it full strength, which is not quite 100%. It's probably like 90-something% ethylene glycol, but yeah, it turns out they're very similar. They even taste the same. I don't know if you've ever tasted coolant, but it actually tastes pretty good. It's kind of citrusy, sweet. So I'm going to go ahead and dump this in, and I don't think it should screw up, the rubber seals and all that stuff like the oil would. So this crazy bastard is going to dump it right into his brake fluid. What the hell? Why not? It doesn't really matter because it's a farm truck, and it can't be any worse than the oil I already put in it. So we're going to go ahead and put that in, and I guess over the long haul we'll see what happens. I can get my hands on pretty much the entire brake system for free here because we have that van that's parked out of my uncle's. I can get everything except for, ironically, the metal lines, which are what's wrong with this truck. But you know what? I'm curious to see if it'll work. I got just enough knowledge to get myself in trouble. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep you posted if anything goes wrong. But I think it'll work for now, at least in a farm truck.